If I hear turtles one more time, I'm going to scream. What did I just read? Whoa. I'm sorry, you can't be that dumb. She's 27 years old.
Like, I think the main characters definitely would have been dead.
I really like that aspect of it. Why do cats just want to show their buttholes? I feel like half of it could have been cut out, but as of right now, I could care less. Hello! Welcome to another video, and a really exciting one where we are going to be trying to find my next 5-star read. I'm actually filming this really early. It's actually mid-July right now, but there's still a lot of books that I put on my June TBR that I really wanted to read, so I'm definitely going to be reading those. I have already started on a book, and I'm like, is this gonna be a 5-star? And that book is Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. I've never read a V.E. Schwab book before. I know that they wrote The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I was a bit hesitant at first, but only because when I read the description of like the back of the book, I was like, what did I just read? It's very much more so literary fiction, and obviously you have that like romance subplot in there. And the only thing that I knew about this book going in, besides the description, which I didn't understand anyway, was that this book was lesbian vampires. And I was like, okay, I'm down. I've never really, well, I've read a book about vampires before, but that was Bride. I haven't read like Twilight or anything. So I was excited to get into this book and see what was going on and how like this world and stuff could be explained, and also just to read a V.E. Schwab book and see if I liked her writing. Don't let the description intimidate you. It seems like it's a very like, not intense book, but very just like, I don't know, smart person book, because I felt like when I read the back of it, I was like, why didn't I not understand anything? But this book actually reads super easily. So I have it on my Kindle, and right now I'm on page like 245. There's 4 different perspectives, but there's like a main 2 perspectives. So you start off with Mauricia and Alice, and it's very interesting too because they're in 2 different timelines. Alice is in 2019, and for Mauricia, I think it says Mauricia death 1562, I think is what it is. I'm not sure. We're basically just following, in the beginning, we're following Mauricia, and there's a lot of chapters about her kind of telling her story and how, you know, she's always been like different from the rest of her family. And of course, being in that time, she is supposed to be married to like a man, and the man that she marries treats her like absolute garbage, and I hate him. And this book makes you hate men, so if you hate men, you'll love this book. when things come off more literary fiction, and obviously it's a bit like supernatural, right, because it has like the vampire part of it, I always get worried that I'm not gonna be interested. Even though there's been like 4 different timelines, we have a main 2, but then one of the timelines switches over to somebody else's name. Not once has this book said vampire. Like, they obviously are vampires now, but they don't say it. Not yet, at least. So I thought that was kind of like interesting. Alice is basically looking for Lottie right now because Lottie kind of disappeared after her and Alice had like a fling go on, and then Alice realizes that something's wrong with her. So she's looking for Lottie for answers right now, and she can't find her anywhere. And I have my suspicions about Lottie. I'm really curious of Lottie, but also I'm really curious of potentially how these 2 characters are gonna meet again. The pacing is great. I'm loving just learning about the characters and things that happen in their life. It's very character driven. We're just following the characters and their story. I'm thinking there's gonna be a romance potentially between Alice and the Mauricia character, but I'm not entirely sure. It's very interesting to read. I'm having a good time. So without further ado, let's hop right back into it. Wait, that was so quick. Wait, that's weird. Lottie had violet hair and now it's red. So I'm wondering if Lottie is like changing her identity in a way, right? And that would make sense because of something that happened in Lottie's chapter a long time ago. Oh, never mind. It's not her. That was quick. I think Alice just thought it was her. I got excited. I should have just kept reading a little bit more, but I just got excited because I thought Lottie was back. Now I'm sad. Whoa. Okay, I'm in the exact same spot I was in last night. Just finished Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, and it was not a 5-star. I kind of like thought it was gonna be. When I got like halfway, it started to slow down a little bit, but it was still interesting. The ending was good, but I feel like there's something missing. I don't know what it is. When you get into a certain character's chapters, there's this specific character that's always talked about, and because of the amount that this character was talked about, I thought that they would be more like relevant in the story. Like they were gonna come up again somehow and be like a part of the story with the vampires, but they weren't. So I wasn't sure why she was brought up constantly. But yeah, I mean, it was a really good book. Definitely something that I enjoyed. But I wouldn't say I was like dying to read this book. Like I wasn't gonna binge the book. I mean, at first I felt like that, but I think the halfway point it kind of got a little slower for me, and it felt very long. So with that being said, it's time to choose the second book. Welcome to the awful bookshelves. And I'm saying it because they're so messy. The thing is, I have to pick potential 5-star reads, but I don't want to get a 5-star right off the bat. First Time Caller by B.K. Borison, but not gonna lie, I'm kind of scared of B.K. Borison because of how I hated Love Light Farms. Ooh, wait, wait. Sorry. Okay, hold on. Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. I've had this for so long. I have not read it yet. Happy Place. I pulled this in June and didn't read it. So we have 2 good options right here. But this also might be a 5. I don't know. But this could be a 5. Okay, listen. I think since a live action of Love Hypothesis just got announced, I think that's a sign to read Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. It's been a while since I've read an Ali Hazelwood book. I've had this book for a super long time, for like almost 2 years now, so I'm excited to start this. And now it's time to choose my bookmark that I'm going to use for this. Okay, so as you already know, I decided for my next book to be A Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood, and I knew that this book was following Elsie kind of being a fake girlfriend. So the only thing that she does, like being a fake girlfriend, is that she goes on dates and then with these people and shows up to social events and pretends to be the girlfriend, things like that. And there's this specific character named Greg, and he's hired her multiple times, which usually that's like not part of the job. There's like a specific reason why Greg needs her. We don't know yet, so I think that's gonna be something later on in the book. But right now I'm on page 60. I actually did an Instagram reel where I read for an hour to see how many pages I could read in an hour, and it was literally exactly 60 pages, which is kind of funny. I think this is a very cute book so far, And I really like the character Elsie. What I thought was interesting about her character, funny enough, is that she is a diabetic. And I don't know, I feel like I haven't read that in a main character before, and it's interesting to kind of learn about. In the story, I'll try to keep it brief because I don't want to talk for too long. Elsie obviously goes over to Greg's house because she's doing her job. They're with his family. She doesn't have the best like relationship with Greg's brother, Jack Smith. He is just he's always questioning Elsie and like her intentions, and just kind of being an overprotective older brother, which, you know, that's admirable. What happens is that basically Elsie gets called in for this interview for this company, and she really wants to be like a part of this. Problem is, with this job that she's going in for, the theoretical physicists and the experimental physicists are kind of working together. I know nothing about science, and there is a lot of science talk in the beginning of the book, which I feel like isn't really necessary to know while reading it. Honestly, I just kind of skim over it because I'm like, I don't really know what they're talking about. The person that's interviewing Elsie tells her, hey, Jonathan Smith Turner is a part of it, and he is a person that's probably also gonna hire you, and they have basically they have to come upon an agreement. And she's like, Jonathan Smith Turner, I hate this guy. So this guy basically wrote an article that was really popular and basically made fun of theoretical physicists, which is what Elsie is. So she hates this guy and kind of gave theoretical physicists a bad rap. But my question is, how does she not know what this dude looks like at all? Because she hates him, and if this thing went so viral, wouldn't they show photos of the guy? That's the only thing that I don't really understand. But basically what she comes to find out is that Jonathan Smith Turner is Jack Smith, which is Greg's older brother, which is the one that she literally already knows. And right away, Jack's like, I thought you were a librarian, because she's been lying about like what her job is and stuff, obviously, because she doesn't want people to know her like real job and things like that, kind of keeping things private. So now we're running into a little bit of a situation because Jack is like, you haven't told Greg any of this. Like, what are you doing? So that's kind of like where I'm at in this book, and it's entertaining so far. I do think that the only things that kind of throw me off about this book is the talk of science and a lot of references of things that I don't understand. And it's more so like the quote-unquote dorky science-y, like fantasy Star Wars kind of stuff. Like, I'm not really someone that is interested in all that, but I loved the love hypothesis, and there was a lot of references in that too. But that's the only thing that I can't don't understand really. I like the direction we're going in this book so far, and I wonder how Elsie and Jack are gonna get together, and I'm wondering what the secret is with Greg and why he has to show his parents that he has a girlfriend. I am fixing my hair and face because I have to go to the vet. I gotta take Parsnip to the vet. Yeah, I'm on chapter 16 of Love Theoretically. That's where I'm at right now. I don't love it as much as her other ones. I'm about halfway through. Oh, it's page 221. Yeah, I think what's throwing me off is the main girl character. She's so cringy. Jack is like, oh, let me take you out. And she's like, you're gonna take me out mob style? And I'm like, girl, I'm sorry, you can't be that dumb. She's 27 years old. I don't know. That part, I was just like, okay, Elsie, come on, okay. And there's honestly not, okay, so at first there was kind of a plot going on where Elsie was applying for this job, and obviously this job was to potentially work alongside Jack, which like I said earlier, he's an experimentalist, she's a theoretical physicist, experimentalist? Whatever, they're on opposite sides of the same physicist or whatever, right? And that's what I thought was gonna happen. They were gonna work together and they were gonna just kind of be like tension in the workplace. No, that's not what it is actually at all. Jack is very much like into her, and I don't really know why, but the weird thing about it is that Elsie was fake dating Greg, which is Jack's brother, but Jack had always liked Elsie and he was jealous. Kind of like they were fake dating. Now it's out. He's like now trying to like ask her out, and she's like, at first she's saying no, but now she's saying yes. Anyway, I'm just confused on where the story's going, not gonna lie. And there's not really something that's going on that's making me want to continue reading. Like I remember with Love in the Brain and the Love Hypothesis. The Love Hypothesis specifically had that fake dating thing. The Love in the Brain, it was kind of this, almost this like secret identity kind of thing going on. And I liked that. I thought that was very interesting. But this one, I don't really know. And I'm kind of surprised because I thought I would be way more into it and like it a lot more, but I really am like kind of over it. And I know that sounds really bad, but like, I don't know what it is. There's just not something in the book that's making me really want to read it right now. Yeah, that's where I'm at with Love Theoretically. Kind of disappointed. I mean, Jack's fine. It's just kind of like, I don't know what made him like her all of a sudden, and Elsie is just way too, like, it's almost, she's too spunky. It's like, and too cringy. It's like, okay girl, like, a guy says, can I take you out? And she's like, oh my god, he's gonna kill me. And I'm gonna try to finish up this book as quick as I can because I really just want to get done with it, and I want to start with the next book that I have planned, so I'm really excited. I will update you guys later.
I'm currently driving to work, but I wanted to give you guys a quick update on this video. Finished Love Theoretically, was not a 5-star. The book and the plot really didn't make me want to like keep picking it up, but I wanted to let you guys know that I was trying to figure out what I wanted to read next. I was going to read Happy Place next, but I feel like there's a potential there that it could be a 5-star. So I'm like, okay, maybe I should not read Happy Place right now. And then I was like, you know what? I'm kind of in the mood for a mystery thriller or something, right? And I was like, well, I'm working today and I kind of want to start something now. And then I was like, wait, who's somebody that has a lot of mystery thriller books? Frida McFadden. So I decided to look her up on Libby, and guess what? Ward D is on Libby right now, and it's ready to be listened to, ready to be borrowed. I am so excited. I am definitely gonna start this like today. And I don't know, I mean, her books are kind of short, so maybe I can finish it. I'm not sure, but I just want to let you guys know that I'm gonna listen to Ward D. Do I think it's gonna be 5-star? No, but there's always the potential that it could be. I mean, I love mystery thrillers. I feel like I do get kind of picky about them. Like, they have to be really, really good in order for me to rate them a 5-star. I only have 2 thrillers that I've rated 5 stars. The only one left, and The Silent Patient. And I will let you guys know how I'm liking Ward D. I'm gonna work, and then I'm gonna listen to as much as I can, and I'll give you an update when I'm done working today and kind of tell you guys how I'm liking the book. Okay, anyways, bye. Hello, sorry to be in the car. I am actually waiting to get my hair cut. Wanted to give a quick update on this video because kind of going everywhere, it seems like. Very unorganized. I'm so sorry. I've just been really, really, really busy, but I did want to say I finished Ward D by Frida McFadden. I listened to it literally all yesterday, and I really, really liked it. I thought it was really good. I don't think I talked about it at all. I don't really remember, but I loved the twist at the end. I didn't guess anything. Like, I thought it was really enjoyable, super fast paced. I think I'm gonna end up giving it somewhere around a 4-star. It was really, really good. Like, but it wasn't a 5, obviously. And I won't talk about the book too much, but I would definitely say I'm happy that I expanded my Frida McFadden books, because the only book I've read by her was The Housemaid and The Housemaid's Secret, and I think it was just really fun. Like, Ward D was really fun. I don't know, I really, really enjoyed it. And with that, I read another Frida McFadden book today. I actually finished it. And I know, so we've got Ward D and The Locked Door that I already finished. They both were not 5 stars. The Locked Door was just okay. It definitely wasn't my favorite book. I liked Ward D a lot better, but I just wanted to tell you guys, hey, I listened to this audiobook. It was on Libby. Both of them were on Libby, so that's how I was able to listen to them. I didn't guess anything with The Locked Door. I like the twist at the very, very end. It's really interesting, though, how Frida McFadden, I noticed this in the last 2 of her books that I read. She puts this almost, like, you know how there's like a battle at the end where the culprit is revealed, and then the main character is like, how am I gonna get out of this? And then something silly happens to distract the killer or whatever. So in Ward D, there was one like that. And then in The Locked Door, there was like also a silly little thing. I don't know, they kind of made me laugh. And of course that wouldn't happen. I don't think that would happen in real life situations. Like, I think the main characters definitely would have been dead, because like the situations that happened that made the killer distracted was just silly. Like, it wouldn't happen. But I still enjoyed them. They were enjoyable. And I'm actually listening to another one. I know. I don't know. There wasn't any holds on the Frida McFadden book. So the next one I'm listening to is The Coworker. I haven't gotten super far into it, but so far it's just following like a girl named Natalie, and her coworker went missing, and well, her coworker didn't show up, and this coworker named Dawn is very like studious, and she's also kind of strange, for lack of a better word. You know, she doesn't talk a lot, she's not very social, she's kind of awkward, but Natalie really like wants to be her friend and is really worried about her for some reason. And I'm trying to figure out why Natalie is even interested in this character, because Natalie really seems like the complete opposite of Dawn. So it's making me wonder, like, why does she care so much? I mean, I'm only like 20% in, but literally Natalie went over to her house to check on her, which I thought was kind of strange. Like, still, like I don't know, just kind of odd. She found blood and Dawn's gone. So she thinks something really bad happened to Dawn, and of course, since Natalie showed up at the house, she's like really suspicious. I will say something I do like about all 3 of the Frida McFadden books that I've read. The main character is unreliable, and I really like that. In The Locked Door, the main character was so unreliable, and it was very weird to hear her thoughts. Like, she would say some of the most unhinged things in her head. I mean, who knows? The Coworker could be a 5-star read. I'm going to finish it probably tomorrow. Oh man. We went to Costco and I got new dishes, so all the boxes are absolutely everywhere. I'm thinking about doing a 24-hour readathon soon, and I'm saying that because, oh yeah. Okay, I don't drink these like that often, but these flavors, listen, cotton candy Alani knew, I know. Cotton candy flavored soda seemed really weird to me when I first saw it, but like, I tried it and I ended up really, really liking it, and for some reason at Walmart, I can't find it anymore, but then I saw this and I was like, there are 6 in here. And also Sherbet Swirl, I've heard is really, really good. I feel like you can't go wrong, and Blue Slush obviously is good. I've had it before. So really excited about that purchase. And it's also really, really exciting because I haven't really talked about this, but I've been on a dairy and sugar cleanse for 5 weeks, and it was really hard. I don't think I really talked about it at all, but it was really, really tough. So I'm somebody that loves coffee. I love Dunkin', I love Starbucks, any coffee truck, sign me up, right? That's over, I'm so happy, and of course, we are back to having coffee. I'm so excited, and I'm so happy that the cleanse is over. Back to what this video is about. Okay, so I finished The Coworker by Frida McFadden. I think on my Frida McFadden journey, I think my favorite one so far is Ward D, and then my second favorite would have to be The Housemaid. And I'll also count The Housemaid's Secret. Honestly, I don't remember what The Housemaid's Secret is about. I don't remember. And then the third one I would say The Locked Door, and then I would say The Coworker is my least favorite, because literally, guys, if you haven't read The Coworker, you won't understand this, but turtles, if I hear turtles one more time, I'm going to scream. Like, the amount of turtle talk was crazy. I think the plot was interesting, but I think the way it was executed was just kind of odd. Anyway, back to finding a 5-star read. So I will say, I did start another book. So I decided to pick up Happy Place by Emily Henry. This is the second Emily Henry book I've ever read. First one I read was People Who Meet on Vacation. It was just okay. So I'm kind of trying to figure out if Emily Henry is gonna be my new favorite author, I guess, because she is somebody that everybody loves. So I am on chapter 3, page 16, not far in at all. From what I learned so far, I really like the way this opens up because I really feel like Emily Henry did a good job of like putting things into perspective very naturally. We're following Harriet and she is going to Maine to meet up with her old college friends. So we kind of get this impression from Harriet that she knows somebody named Wynn. Friend has been asking her how Wynn is, but she kind of tries to like not answer the question, kind of brushes it off. I don't know if Wynn was supposed to go with Harriet on this trip to Maine to visit all the friends and stuff because, you know, they all know him. And basically, they finally get to the beach house and they're basically all together now. And there's a friend that goes up to Harriet and her other friend that brought her to the beach house. Is like, does she know? And Harriet kind of overhears this and she's like, what? And basically, she walks in the room and she sees her fiance, Wynn, sitting there. So from the back of the book, the friends don't know that they broke up. From what I've been hearing about this book, Harriet and Wynn are pretending to still be engaged for some reason, and I don't really know the exact reasoning of why they haven't told their friends that they broke up. It must be one of those things where it would just make the trip very awkward. But also what I'm curious to find out is why is he there knowing that they broke up, obviously. So like, why didn't he make up some reasoning, you know, and not go? So maybe he's trying to win her back somehow. That might be kind of cute. But like I said, I'm not far on this book at all. So I'm not getting any 5-star feelings right now. I'm hoping this is a 5-star read, but I'm not gonna say it's the 5-star just for the sake of this video. We can keep this video going on and on and on and on because like, I want to be truthful with my 5-star. I don't want to say this is a 5-star just because everyone else says it's 5-star. Like, I'm going to be honest, okay? Maybe we'll get to the halfway point of this book and I'll give you guys an update how I'm feeling, how I'm liking the story, how I'm liking the writing. And so far, it is interesting and I am curious and intrigued to figure out what's going on.
My home's open wide. We can live here. We can die.
I hate reading about engagements. I want it. I'll let you guys know when I get engaged. I'm thinking it'll be in a couple of months, but I don't know. I always say that. I think I've been saying it'll be a couple of months for the past 4 years now. I want to know why they broke up. Like, their flashbacks are so sweet. And, like, he seems obsessed with her. And I'm so worried that, like, something is wrong with him, like, medically. Or is it literally just because he doesn't think he's good enough? Like, if it's literally just because he doesn't think he's good enough, I'm gonna get kind of annoyed, but like also be relieved, but a little annoyed because it just seems kind of dramatic if it's like, oh, you're just too good for me, or oh, I don't want to hold you back, or oh, I have too much like baggage, because like it's just one of those things where she loves him. I think at first I was kind of like not really feeling this book. I think it just took a little bit for me to get like into it, but it's really reminding me of
the 7-year slip and how it was written. So I really like that aspect of it. Why do cats just want to show their buttholes? I want to know what happened. Ugh. What happened between them? Oh, it says chapter 23, unhappy place. So are we going to get an insight to what happened? Okay, I'm going to read it. Okay, update, page 240. Harriet's mom is a bitch. She's like, he's sweet, honey, but frankly, I don't see it. That would be hard because I would want to be with somebody that my parents liked. That's kind of something that I've always thought about and considered heavily. But that, I don't know, the mom just kind of rude. Do we have updates? Okay, so The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager was definitely not a 5. That book just dragged. I feel like half of it could have been cut out. Surprisingly, Happy Place is definitely not a 5-star. It was kind of disappointing, honestly. I mean, I think it'll get a 3.75, which is like above average. I think the biggest thing for me is just the amount of miscommunication was insane, and I found myself being annoyed, and I just didn't feel the drive to pick this up. And I think just when I started reading this, I thought I was gonna get this urge to read it, and like, oh, I really need to pick it up, and almost this like, I thought I was gonna get like addicted to it, you know, like how you're reading a really good book and you're just like, oh, I have to pick it up. So I thought that's what was gonna happen here, and that did not happen. If anything, it kind of felt like a little bit of a chore, not gonna lie. And I know that's probably like crazy, but it's just, I was expecting a lot better. And this book heavily relied on miscommunication for the plot, and I think that really bothered me. There was this part where they talk about like the breakup, because we know that they broke up, and we're like kind of waiting to hear what exactly happened. The way it was told to us, like the breakup, I was kind of disappointed in that, because I was waiting for like this moment to come, like, oh, finally we're gonna get the answer of like what happened. And we didn't even hear Harriet's side of it, really. Like, because Harriet was telling Wynne something very important that like started the talk of Wynne breaking up with her, but it was paraphrased, and I wish that it was like an actual in that moment dialogue in the book, because we only heard a little bit of Harriet's thing that she was saying before Wynne decided to break up with her. I still like this better than People We Meet on Vacation, but it's just definitely not what I thought it was gonna be. I think we're finding the 5-star. I think I'm finally finding it after so long. Okay, I know. It's a romantasy. I think I've just become really interested in romantasy over all other genre, because this, I'm eating this up. Okay, this is giving Regency, it's giving The Selection, it's giving a little bit of Cruel Prince, it's giving Bridgerton. We're following a character named Ivy, and it is now the season for her to the season I don't really understand fully, but I think there just comes a time of year around May where the girls become eligible for the season, and then they go and try to find suitors, because that's just kind of how like this world works. They have a Fae queen that grants bargains for girls, but they have to trade things to get bargains. For example, there was a character that traded all of her, sorry, this is gonna sound awful. If you don't like talk of fingernails, just skip over this. She basically traded all her fingernails for straight teeth, for example. Or you can trade like something for like a special talent. And I kind of wondered why the queen even did this, but she does it because she likes to be like cruel and try to like twist the bargains. So now it's Ivy's season, right? And her family has kind of become this laughing stock, and now they're poor. And a big thing about this book is reputation and kind of like word of mouth. Basically, something happened with Lydia, Ivy's older sister, and that event caused Ivy's family to become like this laughing stock. And
now they're having a really hard time, like with work, with relationships and things like that. With this, Ivy is like, I'm probably never gonna find a suitor, and she is mad at Lydia for this. This year of the season is a little bit different because Prince Bram is ready to find a wife, and it's kind of like a huge deal because this has never happened before. So now Ivy has found herself in competition to win Prince Bram's heart. Along the way, we meet Prince Emmett, which is the human brother to Prince Bram. Emmett and Ivy, they met in the beginning because Emmett like literally almost hit her with his carriage. So when he almost hit her, basically she fell and she had an injury. So he helped her by like putting her in his carriage, and like he's like, are you okay? Like, where do you need to go? And basically they met from there, and from then I think that Emmett has kind of not stopped thinking about her. And literally, like, one of the first things he said to Ivy was like, you know, you're quite pretty. And I was like, what? But Prince Emmett also has this reputation that he like flirts with all the girls, and he has a lot of like mistresses and stuff, and that's always fun. Emmett and Ivy have kind of teamed up, and Emmett is like, okay, you have to get my brother to fall in love with you because there's this thing that they're trying to solve. It would make a lot more sense, but obviously I don't want to like spoil it, so you'd have to read it for yourself. But this book, I am eating it up. The tension between Emmett and Ivy just now in a chapter I read is so good. Basically, he was teaching her how to dance. And I'm really excited to see what comes from this book. I'm so scared though, because like, I know this book ends on a cliffhanger. I've heard that it does. And there's not an announcement for the second book yet, so I'm kind of nervous. I am loving it. And Prince Bram and Prince Emmett, they're both, like, I like them both. Like, Prince Bram is very sweet, very polite, and then we have Emmett, who's more so flirty and more like blunt, and I just can't. I can't. Okay. I feel like I've been starting out every little clip with a sigh and a ugh, but this is actually like real. This is a real sigh and a ugh because it's been so my last clip, I filmed it on like August 1st. It's August 17th. And I did not read like at all. I'm in a really bad book slump right now, and I don't think I've ever been in this big of a book slump before I get like too ahead of myself. I spent like the last couple weeks not reading, right? And then yesterday, was it yesterday? The day before yesterday? Yesterday and the day before yesterday, I decided to pick back up The Rose Bargain, and I finished it on audiobook, and I absolutely loved it. I gave it a 5-star, which is great because that's the point of this video. But the other problem is I'm in a book slump, but I found a 5-star read, but it doesn't make me want to read more books. And the only thing I'd be interested in reading is the second book to this, but it's not out. So I'm kind of just now in a book slump, so that's awesome. And that's why I didn't upload last week, because I just did not want to finish this video because I did not want to read anything. Absolutely did not. Like, the thought of reading a book, I was like, no. I found my 5-star. It's, you know, it's been a long time coming. I found it. And I'm also really disappointed in myself because I really don't know if I'm going to be able to read any of my books on my August TBR. And I feel really bad about it because I never finish my TBRs that I set for myself. And it's embarrassing. And then I do, like, you know, I always talk about like, oh, here's my August TBR. And, oh, I promise I'll read these books. And then you skip to the wrap-up, the August wrap-up. And guess what? Didn't read any of them, you know. So we'll see. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm really hoping, since it's like fall's coming up and you know the weather's gonna change, that might make me want to read more. But as of right now, I could care less. It's sad, but I think it's because I did Bookmas in July and I read so many books and I was just consuming a lot of book content, and it was like books. And I feel like I did not give my brain a break from books. And I think that a break sometimes is healthy because I've just been like so obsessed with books and booktube lately, like for the past year. Obsessed, like watching a bunch of videos, planning a bunch of videos, reading a bunch of books, and it's stressing myself out about it to the point where now I think I finally am like, okay, you need a break. So I'm gonna take a little bit of a break. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take a little bit of a break. I think I will still listen to audiobooks because that is how I finished this book. I listen to books at work. So I do have the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore and Nightbane that were on my August TBR. I have them on my audiobook thing, like not Libby, what is it? Everand. I have them on Everand. So I'm gonna listen to those, and I will more than likely get done with those. I can't even recap. Like, I don't even remember what books I read in this video, to be honest. Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. I read Happy Place. I read The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. I read The Coworker. I read The Locked Door. I read Ward D. I really loved Ward D. Then The Rose Bargain. But I want to talk about The Rose Bargain just like a little bit because obviously this is my 5-star and I know I'm not excited about it and it doesn't seem like I'm excited about it, but I really did love this book a lot. Like, I think the pacing of it was really well done. I really loved how similar it was to The Selection because that's one of my favorite book series of all time. But the thing that set it apart from The Selection for me was that not only is this more so of a fae, kind of a fae-ish world, kind of like, well, the Prince Bram, he is like fae and the queen is fae, so you're kind of like intertwining both of those worlds kind of. The other thing I really liked about this book was there were some little chapters of the other like contestants and we got to see more in their head of like what they think of like the competition and more just of their characters. And I really loved like Faith and Marin, I believe her name was. I love those characters a lot. And I just liked being able to go into their head and see what they're thinking about Ivy and like Prince Bram and all these things. And I love, oh my god, I love Emmett. I love Emmett so much. I could see at the very end why people think it was a lot like Cruel Prince. It really started reminding me of Cruel Prince right at the very like end of the book. But I really enjoyed it nonetheless. Like I said, I think the pacing was really well done. To me, I really didn't feel like there were any slow parts at all. And I just really liked Ivy's character and kind of the bargain system in general was like super interesting. I do want to say this is YA, but there is a part in it that spicy. It's not written as spicy. It does kind of insinuate something, which I kind of liked. I kind of liked the way it was written. It wasn't like super into detail or anything, and I think that's how I prefer. I really liked the book. I thought it was very interesting, and I'm really excited to learn more about the world and the characters. I feel like at the end of this book, there's a lot going on. There was a lot going on, but I'm hopeful that in the second book, things will start to get explained. Really setting up for book 2 pretty well, I think. And I'm really hoping that there's going to be like a lot of explanation. And I really hope that this is not like a 5-book series. Like a 3-book series, sure, but I would really love for this to just be a duology because I'm just so sick of reading series. But anyways, I think that's it. That is the end of today's video. And just as like an update, I have another video going up next week. I filmed that like a couple weeks ago, so I have that. But other than that, I don't know what else I'm gonna I don't know. I might have to take a break. I might do another, I don't know. I just feel really stupid like if I do another TBR jar video because I feel like I'm not gonna read many of my August TBR at all. So it's like, is there a point of me doing a September TBR? Like, I don't want that to just annoy people, you know, like, oh, you didn't read your TBR. And I'll be like, no, but here's another TBR video. I don't want to be annoying. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I'm so sorry that I missed last week. Obviously, just in a bit of a slump. I even thought about, oh, what if I record a video of me getting out of my book slump? And I'm like, I don't I don't even know what I do for a book slump. I feel like I just need a break. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. And stay tuned for next week, where I believe we're gonna go book shopping. So I'm excited for you guys to see that. But thank you so much for watching today's video, and I will see you in the next one. And if you want to see me a little bit more, make sure you subscribe and also follow me on Instagram. I'm trying to post a little bit more on there, but it's like it's slowly moving. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!